Hello, hi everybody. So my name is Domi, and yeah, thank you for coming by. In this video, I'm going to briefly introduce you myself, my method, and whether this is the right kind of help that you would need in your studies. Okay, so who is this thing for? Well, it's for you if you are motivated, talented, resilient, and someone who thinks they really deserve a good grade, and they can get there, but they just don't know how to. Okay. Um, So I wouldn't be surprised if you found chemistry the most difficult subject, because it is really the most difficult subject. A lot of people find themselves permanently stuck on certain kinds of exercises and unable to get through a certain point, and thus they require external help. So you're not alone if you're struggling with these problems. So that's why this thing is made, basically. So here's what you will learn. Well, I'm going to briefly introduce you why most students struggle with the problems they have. And I'm going to demonstrate you a really efficient and quick way of improving at least 2 grades, which you might be surprised, but it's actually a lot easier and quicker than you might think. Okay. And I'm also going to show you how you can really confidently use these and yeah, go with them, which is also really useful in the long run. Okay, so the most common problems that students encounter is, lots of memorization. They look at chemistry as a never-ending memorization process, particularly organic chemistry. And linking these together is just seemingly impossible because the memorization never ends. There's always more and more, new and new formulas to learn. Okay. Yeah, there's loads of, like equations, formulas, just letters, symbols. This is really the wrong way of looking at chemistry. Okay, it's really the wrong way of looking at it. This is a trap that most students fall into. There's actually very few things you need to memorize. You only need to memorize really just a few things, and then build from them later on. Okay, the other thing that you might have tried is doing past papers. I really suggest you doing these, but after a certain point, like I said, it's difficult to improve. You might, run into new and new kinds of exercises where you're just completely paralyzed. You cannot go further. And that is because you're probably not trained to interpret what kind of exercise I'm actually facing. Okay, so that's also what I'm going to show you. Now, another thing that people suggest is, flashcards. Like I said, flashcards will never end. There's always more to add. I can actually show you that you only need like 50 flashcards. Yes, there are things you need to memorize in chemistry, but there's actually not that many. And you just need to know which ones are the most important from which you can build everything else. YouTube videos, yeah, too complicated, too many to choose from. It's very difficult to find a specialized subject for A level. Chemistry is really broad, and most videos are not really dedicated for A level students. So the time it takes to find them, the specialized help for yourself, might take a lot longer than it would normally take to understand these things. So it can also be a trap. Okay, so organic chemistry is the subject that most students struggle with the most. And they just look at it as an impossible subject. And I'm an organic chemist, so I can really relate. That's how I looked at it first also. But for organic chemistry, you really need to understand like 4 elements: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. Everything else is built from these elements. So as long as you understand this particular picture, you will understand everything. Okay, because this is what determines why certain compounds will exist as they are. Okay, it might look deceptively simple, but it really isn't. Or it really is, actually. Hydrogen has only one electron, it has one shell. The other three elements have only two shells, and they have 4, 5, and 6 electrons in the outermost shell. That's what they're trying to fill. That's the very reason why they're making compounds with one another. Okay, so in just 1 or 2 lessons, I can make you this understand, and that will ensure like immediate improvement. Okay, and this might seem really trivial, but a lot of students really actually overlook this. So what I'm trying to do, instead of memorization, I'm trying to build up the fundamentals from which you can get to the solution yourself, then making everything a lot more clean and understandable. That's what my whole program is basically all about. Okay, so just a few things about myself. Like, I graduated from Durham University. I'm a published researcher in several journal articles, and throughout the years, like, I've worked different jobs, but I really figured that teaching is my main passion. Like, that's how I can give the most value. So I have like about 7 years of experience in it. And I was really fascinated by education for a long time, and throughout the years, like, I really developed the most concise and understandable way of teaching this subject. And because I taught so many students from so many different backgrounds, I developed a great awareness of the special needs that different students might require. So I'm really trying to optimize my lessons according to those. Okay, so these are the 3 simple steps of my whole program that makes it really truly unique. And this is, like I said, this is the one that works the most. Like, I've tried many different methods, and this is really the one that works the most. Okay, so what is this all about? This method will let you be more motivated. Okay, so it's not just about teaching, but it's actually making you want to get better and want to do to get better, if that makes sense. Okay, this will definitely help you get an A on A star if you follow the steps. There's not that many, just a few hours of work every week, and that will in turn help you fulfill the conditions required for university admissions, at least the chemistry part, which is the most difficult part for most students. So I'm basically helping you tackle the most difficult part to get to your goals, your dreams. Okay, and that will in turn make yourself more proud. I have many testimonials, and I'm really happy to send you more. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the 3 simple steps that will get you there. So the first step is the environment. Now, you might have been used to, large, classroom teaching lessons where there's like 20, 30 students. Students might often get lost in that process. Most students, that's a really ineffective way of teaching, right? You don't get the right amount of attention, specialized help. So that's really not effective. Now, the other end that most students are used to is, like one-to-one tutoring. But that's also not really the best, because it's, really, you have a teacher who's obviously getting paid, and they're doing it for you, and then, they're only helping you because maybe your parents are asking them, it's not, and it's only useful until you are in contact, 2 of you. So this circle really nicely demonstrates like the effectiveness of my method. I'm basically collecting 4 or 5 students, most motivated, most talented ones who really want to improve, into communities. And in these communities, you learn through a positive mindset. You motivate each other. Okay, and that is actually a smooth transition into university. So in university, you also have like tutorial groups, which are really similar to this one. So it's kind of like a brainstorming platform where you're mutually benefiting from each other's weaknesses and strengths. Okay, and you can ask everyone and anyone, or your other tutors will guarantee you this. The best way of learning is actually teaching. So you might be confident in one subject, you're explaining it to your peer, and that's how you really fortify that knowledge in yourself. Okay, and it works the other way around as well. You might be struggling with another subject, and another tutor is another student is explaining it to you, and this is like really real engagement. That's kind of unconditional, that you help each other. Okay, you're not alone. A really common mistake, a really common problem that students encounter is they're feeling themselves alone with their problems. Okay, and this truly prevents this. There's no opportunity to lag behind, because you're constantly improving each other. Okay, it's truly beautiful. Okay, the second step is standards. So once you're engaged in a community, you continue the progress. We're trying to eliminate any kind of fear, stress. You're not alone. Like I said, like everyone's a little bit scared of chemistry. But if you're working on it together, that fear is eliminated because it's shared. And with consistent practice, your confidence, keeps growing gradually. Okay, you don't have to put in a lot of work, but as long as you remain consistent and practice like every week, the improvement is guaranteed. Okay, and that way you can build resilience and routine and practice. And like I said, yes, practice papers are important, but I'm really specializing on giving personalized homework in those areas that I feel like you're struggling with the most. And later on we can do more like general improvement. And that gives us to the third point is like exam technique. So once you're familiar with most of the topics, and you develop the confidence, like you need to really fine tune to get to that A star, that 90% level. Okay, a lot of people make trivial mistakes. They're overly confident. There's many different kinds of exercises that you can run into, but after a certain point it ends, and it just repeats itself every year. The kinds of exercises that you have are kind of similar. Okay, and yeah, you can really get there. That's really the last step. Okay, so how can you implement all of this? Well, book a meeting. Be ready and committed, and you know what you want. At least like few things that you really want to achieve, and join the community. If you want to get an A or an A star in chemistry, if you want to enroll in a university of choice, be more confident and be proud of yourself. So these are the 4 things that are guaranteed in this program. And of course, you can do it yourself. Like I said, there's many pitfalls in it, right? You might lag behind, you might lose confidence on the way. It's always easier if you're not alone. So if that sounds interesting to you, even if you're not 100% confident you want to go along this way, but you're interested at least, make a booking. It's completely free, 15-20 minutes, where we can discuss it more, in depth, and figure out whether this is really the right track for you. Okay, I'm looking forward to see you there. Bye.